You're what they call a real rock-and-roller.
Rock-n-roller?
Rock-n-roller.
Rock-and-roller.
Rock-n-roller is real Guy Ritchie gold.
Is this a robbery?
Yes, it is a robbery. And fuck off.
I really love Snatch and Lock, Stock, and this is definitely in his wheelhouse, but this is a guy that has kind of grown.
Let's get to the meat and potatoes, if you don't mind, sir.
The premise of the film is supposed to reflect contemporary London and all the nefarious, dodgy activities that are due to the changes that have taken place here.
I run this town! Ah! This isn't a Mockney, Cockney type of film. You know, this is definitely a modern look at what London has become and the type of characters that are emerging from London.
You didn't realise that they had guns?
Get that painting back, bring me a body.
Storyline weaves together.
I'm looking for a painting.
It's a very rare and expensive painting.
Pete, where's the painting?
You know, one of the stories in this film is about a rock and roller.
Looky, but no touchy.
He sort of represents this mixed up class world of contemporary London.
I'm gonna be a real rock-and-roller.
On set, I'm ducking and diving. It's been a really good blast.
It's been quick and specific and, as always, good fun.
Looks like I got a bit of news about your painting.
I'll have the painting for you in a couple of days, Uriah. Who's got that painting?
Johnny Quid!
Well, according to my figures, that sounds about right.
The story is made up of lots of different characters all coming together.
There are many different bands of people affecting each other. Kind of complicated, circuitous and strange way that only Guy makes his movies.
If you want to find Johnny, you have to see Cookie.
My name's Cookie.
Can I have a word with you, Cookie?
All these disparate journeys and disparate personalities, they connect to sort of one big whole.
Action!
All right, Fred.
Arch.
Mumbles.
Arch.
Bob.
Yeah, Arch.
1, 2. Arch. I see you brought your biggest gorilla with you. The Wild Bunch.
Mumbles, Bob and 1, 2. Yeah, we're a gang of lads trying to make our way in London, you know, in this world where we're wheeler dealers.
A couple of entrepreneurs, if you like, opportunists that run around London trying to snatch a piece of the old pie.
Yeah, we were trying to sort of represent different facets of our society. And so there are the three guys which, you know, trying to work their way up in the world and trying to get into property, which seems to make more money than drugs.
You know, we find ourselves in a very interesting triangle, if not a multi-angle of affairs.
The biggest deal we ever do, we get screwed over. In true, perverse Guy Ritchie humour, that comes back to bite those that screwed us over in the ass, which then goes right around and comes back to bite us in the ass again.
Can't get the plan in.
What do you mean you can't get the fucking plan in? You owe me.
In order to make a backhander to put up a building, who is it you go to? Well, you don't go directly to a councillor. You go to a mediator, a broker.
I hear you got that car you wanted.
You're very generous, Len.
Right, now sort that planning out, will you? Lenny Cole is a sort of entrepreneur, a fixer.
He's made an infrastructure of bureaucrats which help grease the rails for various activities.
Right. Let me tell you how this works. You're going in to drink, and I'm going to have a cup of tea. He represents a sort of old-fashioned way of getting things done. Archie, slap him, send him to school.
Like this.
Yeah, Lenny Cole represents the old school of gangstery.
If a slap don't work, you cut them or you pay them, but you keep your receipts because this ain't the mafia.
Lenny and Archie are still behaving as if they control their particular area of London. And the truth is the young guys are coming up from below and the Russian guys are coming in from the east.
Yeah, nice to see you, Yuri. Good.
We are very much alike here in Ireland. We like to get things done.
Yuri is a sort of metaphor for Eastern Bloc or Russian money.
What's it going to cost me?
7 million euros. Communism didn't slow down, did it?
You know, a few years ago, when the big oligarch Russians came to town, they completely changed the rules of business. If they wanted something, they didn't haggle the price, they doubled the price. and then the competition was completely stumped.
You got to watch yourself with this lot. I mean, times are changing.
You know, Moscow society and Russian society is riddled with corruption.
I need another 7 million euros. Lost in the books.
Mr. Omovich.
I play an accountant who is extremely good at what she does. So good, in fact, that I think she's getting a little bored. I've got another bit of work for you.
It's a little bit heavier than it looks on a calculator, isn't it?
Troubled rock star Johnny Quid is
Missing, assumed dead.
Our Johnny?
If he's dead, that's the 3rd time this year.
We inadvertently get involved in some gangster business.
Can we help you? Roman and Mickey represent Johnny Quid. Lenny's got to get us to get Johnny Quid. The games begin. Archie, we got your boy. Yeah, what's left of him? You might want to hose him down. He smells like a rotten goat.
Johnny's incredible. He's a bit of a rock and roller, in a sense. Ba-dum-tsh.
What is it?
This is a rock-and-roller.
Rock-n-rolla is a guy who makes his money on the ducking and diving, you know, bobbing and weaving.
You know, the ducking and diving, the rocking and rolling that everybody finds themselves involved in.
Johnny Quid sort of represents a rock and roller, just that.
The guy's written this fantastic joker in the pack, this character who has gone to the depths but probably speaks the truth more than any other character in the film.
He went to a very smart school, but he has a gangster as a father. So he's mixed up, but, you know, he's a philosopher of sorts.
Beauty is a beguiling call to death, and I'm addicted to the sweet pitch of its siren. I just feel like he has a lot of soul, especially with the piano playing and the speeches he has and the way he handles things.
At the same time, seemingly he's trying to kill himself, so that in itself is tragic. So, why'd you call, Johnny?
Sorry, Johnny's not here. But the pipe is.
Come back, Johnny. Come back home.
But home is where the head is. And I don't feel at home in my head.
He's working out the intellectual and not so intellectual struggles with reconciling good from evil. Made it sound quite complicated.
Shut it or you will get hurt.
And I have been magically transported back to my childhood. I never did like you, neither did your real dad.
As far as his mental health is concerned, Lenny Cole's kind of relationship with him hasn't done anything to kind of promote a kind of good, healthy attitude.
What are you, boy? If you're not poison.
The idea is that Johnny Quid is asking questions. He's talented, he's not playing by the rules. Consequently, he's curious, which means that he gets himself into trouble.
Come on then, boy. I'll have you and your girlfriends. I'll do the lot of yours.
It's a great term for someone that just rolls with the punches, and I think that, you know, in this particular script, you know what I mean, like, you've got a bunch of characters that just have to roll with the punches when they come. You know, you have to just rock and roll. Bottom line.
Scary, ain't he?
Action. I do move fast, and I love bricks and mortar. Property's always a safe bet, but you gotta know what you're doing, because this ain't soft money. They say that times are changing, Councillor. Now, this country isn't what it used to be. It's the new New York, they say.
I was quite excited to do a movie in London made by a guy who is seen as the ultimate authority on modern London.
Rock-n-Rolla was inspired, I think, more or less by house prices in the UK.
I think he wants it to be about a certain aspect of the town that's in transition.
The area covers 12 acres, and it will become one of London's premier residences.
If you look around, you can see all the building that's taking place. A lot of people with money decided to descend upon London, and consequently this has fueled enormous cultural changes.
Take care of the councillor, and it'll move like shit through a goose.
The rules of everything sort of changed.
Well, I think you're forgetting who you're talking to, you insolent bastard.
Because of that, this film reflects the nefarious activities, the underworld of what was happening in London in that time and what's happening at this time.
They say there are only 2 days you enjoy a boat: the day you buy it and the day you sell it.
It's not the kind of chocolate box Tower of London that I think we're all so used to seeing. I'm sure that the film will reveal a kind of surface of London, but also the kind of underbelly of London. So shooting here, I'm kind of getting a bird's eye view of a city that I feel is very familiar to me. But it's a complete mystery at the same time.
I think what I quite like is to have a bit of depth. So I don't think you two chaps should come too close to him.
Guy has a great visual style for kind of mixing the modern and the ancient and the old and the historical and putting it all together and filling it with character. We were shooting at various locations throughout east side of London.
Well, I mean, it is what the movie's about. It's this constantly evolving London, and this is a great illustration of that.
I tell you, it's a joy. I'm in my hometown, I'm shooting a film.
It's been a perfect kind of tone between all of us because we're all very silly, we're all very immature.
Jerry Butler, when he turns up, is great. He's a wonderful actor. I love him a lot.
You don't know what trouble you've caused me.
Tom Wilkinson's fantastic. Yeah, he's a legend of theatre and film, and he's so fantastic to play off. He's always in character, you know, always improving something.
I was really attracted to the idea of him doing what he's doing in this, which is playing a sort of nefarious old bastard.
What are you, boy, if you're not poison?
It's enjoyable to do because it's not something I've ever done before, really.
I'd never seen him play this kind of part before, but I mean, the first day I saw him, he just looks fantastic. And in the scenes that we've been doing, as a guy I have an immense amount of respect for as an actor, it's not very difficult to treat him that way as a gangster.
Not a lot of women, but I'm actually not too bothered by that. You could give them a black eye, might help. Just a black eye, nothing more.
You know, I think it's very hard to quite sum up what exactly is going on between the two of us.
Hello?
It's me.
Well, what do you want?
You.
Well, you better come in then.
Action!
Especially one particular sex scene that just became a sex scene at the last moment, and it was a case of the camera's right there, now we're going to try some crazy stuff.
There was one day where Jerry had a really, really bad cold, and of course that's the one day where Jerry and I have to kiss each other. And said, I'm absolutely not kissing Jerry today, everybody, because he's really ill. And in a flash, Guy had sort of thought of another way to show this really intimate moment without ever touching each other.
Oh no, that's the shot that I want.
5, 4, 3,
2, 1.
This is Guy's way of telling people to get in shape quickly.
I'm jumping from one big dialogue scene to part of an action sequence to over here finishing off something else.
It's very quick, and all actors like quick.
I feel like it should be a new ride at like Disneyland. You come and you go into Guy Ritchie world.
And he has a finger on the pulse of sort of characters which are based in reality and at the same time are sort of heightened and slightly larger than life.
What is it today? The rack? The garrote? Or is it the old drowning and crayfish trick?
Still full of hot air. DNA the net slag.
This world that is really cutthroat, really hardcore.
The guy's been amazing. He has no ego about himself as a director, as a person, and as a writer.
It's easy when he wrote and directed the movie. It's just kind of like he knows exactly what he wants on screen.
Wait, so you guys are gonna take care of him?
What do you think we are, gangsters?
Well, is it because it's his stepson?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, we don't want to get involved. Yeah.
He makes an environment which is fun, inventive, makes you want to go to work.
So far, everything seems to have gone, I wouldn't say according to plan, but then I'm not sure if it's a good thing that it does.
He loves what he does, he enjoys it. You know, and it's not about being famous or doing the next big thing. It's simply about he enjoys what he does and he really wants to tell these stories.
I'll get back in there and look like I'm working.
Please stay there.
Don't hurt me, Arch. I'm only little.
Go back! What am I saying? What am I saying?
What are these guys made of? And it was all going so well.
Cut off!